What's up, Marina? I'm going to show you how to create your perfect base face. Now, today we are going in with a daytime look. It is still summer. We're still going for something very dewy and light and fresh. So that's what we're going to do. You're going to start off by getting your kabuki brush. It is your flat-ended brush, looks like this. You're also going to need your VFX strobe primer and your VFX camera ready foundation. Okay, the first thing that you want to do is to take your primer and you're going to generously apply that to your skin. And I want you to really concentrate on your T-zone as well as areas that you feel your skin has a little bit more dryness than it usually has, okay? This is going to help to prep the skin, to moisturize the skin, to help give your makeup a glow from within, which is what is going to give it the most natural and fresh end look. Once you have your primer set on your face, you can go ahead and give it like a few seconds to really kind of absorb into the skin and just set. You don't want your primer and your foundation mixing together. You want them to sit one on top of the other. So now I want you to take your foundation, and foundation truly melts into the skin so much nicer when it is warm. So I want you just to put some on the back of your hand. It has a pump. My pump is broken. That's why I just pull some out. Just gonna put it on the back of your hand. That's gonna help the product to warm up, which is what is going to help it to melt into your skin. Again, just to get the most skin-like natural finish. Now, using your kabuki brush, you want to hold it a little bit lower onto the brush because you want to be able to apply pressure. When we're applying our foundation today, we're going to be using a technique called stippling, which means we're going to push the brush into our skin, okay? So it's just gonna look something like this. I like to do a little stipple and a pull is what I did last time I did your makeup, and I feel that worked very, very well on your skin type. So we just pushed into the stipple and pressed down. So it's kind of like we were doing a little half circle onto your skin, just over and over and over again. And on the areas where we needed a little bit more coverage, so anywhere where you have some of that redness, just go ahead and dab like this. This is going to push more product into those areas and give you a little bit more coverage without giving coverage to the entire skin and in spaces when we don't need it, okay? So this is the movement that we are going with for the entire face. And then in our areas that we need a little bit more, we'll go in and just do some stippling like this, okay? So I need to pick up your product. Just want to make sure my brush was clean. So I just pick up your product with your brush. I like to just push all the product into my brush so I don't have to worry about coming back and picking up more product afterwards, okay? So get all the product picked up into your brush. And I want you to start on the center of your face, okay? So just kind of down the nose, on your cheeks, and on your chin. This is the area where you have a little more redness. That's the area where we want more coverage and more product, okay? So we're gonna start here, and remember the movement we are making, it's just push like a little circle, okay? So just like so, I guess this way, just like a little circle. We're gonna do that on both sides of the face, working our way out. We're going to work our way down and out. Once you have this part of your face done, then you can pull up to your forehead. Doing your forehead last will mean that there is the least amount of product left on your brush, which will give the least amount of kind of coverage on your forehead, which actually gives the most natural appearance. You don't have a lot of redness in your forehead. You don't have a lot of texture. Your forehead is very smooth, so you actually don't need a lot of coverage. This is kind of just evening everything out. So once you have that entirely on your face, you can go back over any areas that you still have some redness coming through and cover those up using the stippling technique, which is the bang, 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 bang. Okay, so I'm just gonna go in over these areas and just this area over here, so you'll see what I mean. So we're just stippling, which means we're just hitting the skin over and over again, just to kind of build up the coverage just in those areas and not on our entire face. Okay, so that is our first base done of our skin. You can see at this point, you have coverage, your skin still looks like skin, and you should have lots of glow, okay? You wanna then take your time locking setting spray and you wanna spray your entire face, okay? We're gonna do this multiple times throughout the process because we want our skin to A, continue to look like skin, and B, we want our foundation to completely stay. We don't want any movement throughout the day. We wanna leave our house and come home to our house looking exactly the same, okay? So we're gonna take this and we're just going to spray generously. Now we're just gonna give that a second to dry on our skin, to absorb. This is gonna help these liquid products kind of sit in place before we go to our next step. Like so. Okay, now you wanna go in with your concealer. You wanna use the 01, I believe you have. You might have 02. So you wanna use your light concealer. And we're gonna go in under our under eye. So I'm just gonna stick some right here in the corner, and that's where you should be placing it as well. Now you don't have a lot of discoloring anywhere around this area. Yours is really concentrated to just this front area right here. So that's where we want to place the product, okay? Now, if you want more bright under eyes, just apply more concealer, all right? That is something that I find is personal, how you like to look, okay? Then you want to grab your blending bud, because that's what we are going to use to blend this out. There we go. This will be your blending bud. Now, before you blend it out, you're going back with the Time Locker setting spray, and we're just going to spray that right on the bud. We want the bud to be a little bit damp. You can dampen it with water if you like. I prefer to use the setting spray just because then I get the setting, what it does in the product as well. I feel like I get a lot better hold, and then I don't really have to use powder. Okay, so we're gonna go in with the bud. The bud is the same thing. When we are blending out the concealer, we're just pressing. We don't want to do any rubbing. We're not doing any rubbing motions. Okay, it's just pressing. We are dabbing that into the skin, melting that into the skin, pressing that into the skin. Okay, so we start in our inner corner, and we're just dabbing, and it's just a fast motion. Dab, 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 just like so. And then with the excess that's left over here, we're just gonna pull that down across the eye because we don't need a lot of product here. We don't need to get a lot of coverage there, okay? So we don't want to put any excess because then we'll have creasing and movement, and we don't want any of that, okay? So go ahead, do the same on the other side. We're just gonna go right into the corner, and we're just gonna dab, 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 dab. Just like so. And again, the excess on the bud, we are just gonna pull that out to the rest of the covering under the eye. Now, when I did your makeup, I did take a little bit of this excess and I just dabbed it right in the center of the forehead, just to give a little bit of brightening, and right down the center of the nose. I didn't apply any excess product. I just applied a little extra from the excess that was on the bud, okay? So now we're here. Next, we're gonna move into our bronzer and our blush. I know you had asked if you leave the bronzer and just do blush for daytime. The answer is no, you still use both products. We just kind of use them in a little bit of a different way. I'm gonna show you a technique that's called latte makeup. It's really trending right now. It is actually a technique that I used with you. I just also added a little more glam eyes. So we're gonna take the eyes back a little bit, bring it into a little bit more of a daytime eye, and then do the latte makeup on the face using the products that you have. So we're gonna go ahead and grab our contour. I believe you have Smize, and you are going to take the product, you're gonna draw on your face. So we're gonna start right here. So you can see where my hair is going right over my ear. This area right here, that's the area that we're gonna start, okay? This is gonna be our starting point for our bronzer and our contour. Now today I'm using this as bronzer. We're not doing as much contour. That will be in a different video for you after we have our in-person lesson. But for the bronzer today, we're gonna start right here, and we're gonna pull that all the way down to about where the first white of our eye is. So right about here. So this is gonna be the area where we pull that down to, just like so. And we're gonna do the same on the other side, okay? So we're gonna start right where the hair kind of goes over the ear, where the tip of the ear meets the head. We're gonna pull that down right to about when we're looking straight. Our eye whites come down. That's where we kind of want to end that, okay? Just like so. This is gonna be our bronzer moment, all right? Now you want to put bronzer on your forehead as well. Even though you're wearing bangs most of the time, you do want to put a little bit right up here in your temple area. So we're just going to draw right here, and we're going to get as close to the hairline as we can, and right here. Okay, that's the spot on you where you're going to want to put your bronzer. Now we're going to grab our kabuki brush again, and this is what we're going to use to blend. Now starting with our bronzer on our cheeks, we are going to, again, same motion. We're going to do one of these, but upwards. So it's going to be like this. The same motion, okay? We're going to push the product into the skin, help it melt into the skin, okay? Just like so, we're going to push that up. Now this is a cream product. It does melt really, really easily. Just like that. And we're going to do the same on the other side. And then you want to do the same on your forehead. And now with our forehead, we're using this as bronzer, not contour. So we don't have to push it completely into our hairline, but we do want to make sure that we're getting these kind of rounded parts on our forehead, okay? So on this part, we are just going to stipple it in and stipple it in. Now, bronzer, again, is one of those things that is personal. You can love a lot of bronzer or you cannot love a lot of bronzer. It is entirely up to you. I'm going to go in with a little more bronzer, just in a couple places that I feel blended a little bit more than the rest, and just get those pushed in. Again, I'm just using the stippling to push all of that bronzer in, just like so. I'm going to go ahead and put a little on my nose, and you should do the same thing. So we're just going to go right down the edge of each side of your nose, very ever so slightly, and then we're just going to rub that with our kabuki brush to blend that in. This is just going to pull together the kind of bronze look, because you have to think of it, when the sun hits you, where does it hit you? That's where you want your bronzer. And your nose will always get a little sun kissed if you are out in the sun. So make sure you are adding it there, okay? The last place that we want to use our cream bronzer is actually on our eyes, okay? So this is the easiest eye look you will probably ever do, honestly, and you'll probably do it all the time, because I know I do. We're going to take it and we are just going to draw right on the top of our eyelid, just like so, on both sides, just like that. And then we're just going to blend that in again with our kabuki brush, and we're just going to blend it out, literally out towards our temple, because again, this is the natural placement of where we would get hit by the sun. So there you go. There's your bronzer. There's your skin moment, okay? And now go back into the setting spray and spray it down. Remember, every layer, you want to set it with some setting spray. When we're using cream and liquid products, that's going to really get the stain. Okay, now that we have our base down, we're going to go in with some blush and some highlighter, okay? And that's going to round out our face. So you have the fresh blush. I'm just going to go ahead and grab that. So here we have our fresh blush. Now, there are many ways that you can apply a cream blush. I would say the easiest way is to just dab it on your skin and rub it in, okay? So for you, I want you to smile the same way you did when I was doing your makeup. Just get a nice big smile. Let me see those apples of the cheeks. And we're gonna place that blush right down on the apples of our cheeks, and then right up just above it at the beginning or end outer corner of our orbital bone. So this is just going on a diagonal up to our hairline, okay? Do that on the same side, get a nice big smile, get a little bit on that apples of our cheeks, and then right here on the corner of our eye, kind of at our orbital bone. And now you can either use your fingers your kabuki brush or your beauty blender. I'm gonna go in with the beauty blender because I find it gives a really natural blend, okay? And again, we are pushing the makeup in. We're not spreading it around, we're just pushing it in. So we're just gonna push in this product just like so. And this is just, as you can see, giving us such a beautiful, natural color. Do the same on the other side. And you can see how light reflective this blush is. Perfect for any summer day outing, truly. And if you want to have a little bit more color, where did I put that? You just go ahead and add a couple more dots and blend those in. Completely buildable, entirely up to you. How much or how little blush moment you want to be having. Now, once we have that all blended in, our blush and our bronzer, we will go ahead and add our last thing for our face, which is our illuminator, our highlighter. So I can't remember if you have a cream or a powder, but the technique is the same. Doesn't matter which one you're using it, you're gonna use it exactly the same way. I'm gonna go in with my powder just to, I think you have a powder. So I'm gonna go in my powder and show you. Let me just grab that. So this is our illuminator, and we're going to use it doing the diamond technique. So the diamond technique is how we illuminate our 4 points of our eyes to just bring brightness to our face and brightness to our eyes. It's a great way to highlight when you are having mature skin, okay? So I'm just going to take a flat, you see this little fluffy brush, and I'm going to dip that into my powder luminizer. And I'm going to go ahead and smile, and then right here on the tops of your cheeks, right where your apples are, I just want you to lightly dust that product. Look at that glow. So you get this beautiful glow every time you smile, okay? Go ahead and do that on the other side. Just smile and just dust that right on the top of your cheeks. Now here's where the diamond comes in, okay? Next, you want to put it right on the out corner of your eye, right above your eyebrow. And then it's just taking your little finger, you can go ahead and put that right on the inner part of your eye. Just like so. This diamond right here brings so much brightness and light to your skin. It honestly just makes your eyes just look like they are glowing, wide awake and glowing. So go ahead and do that on the same side, on the other side, sorry, same thing. Above your eyebrow and on your temple, and then just a little bit right here on the front of your eye, okay? Now, when I did your makeup, I did also apply a little bit to your nose. I generally do that on all of my clients. I just think it looks really pretty and natural. You can see just without me adding the luminizer, I do get a lot of glow on my nose because it's a place that it gets naturally hit by the sun. So you just kind of want to emphasize that. So we're just lightly dusting right on the tip and then right down the center, okay? Just in those two spots. You see the difference that makes, that little extra glow, okay? And now, the last thing we're gonna do is our luminizer, because our base face is pretty much done. We're gonna go ahead and just with our finger, we're gonna take a little bit of that and dab that right on the center of our eye. Okay, now you remember we already put some bronzer on our eye. So now we're just adding a little bit of the luminizer. Again, this is just another way to bring some brightness and some light and some youthfulness to your eyes and to your face, okay? So there it is. We're gonna finish that off with our setting spray. Last round of the setting spray. We're gonna let that dry down and then you are all done. You can add your mascara, you can add whatever lip gloss you wanna add, you can add eyeliner if you'd like to, whatever it is that you wanna do. But your base is completely done. You are ready, and I'm sure feeling really good about stepping into your day. All right, I hope this helped you. Feel free to message me if you have any questions. You know I'm here for you, girl. All right, have a fantastic day. Bye.